You can't be everything to everybody while still working towards your goals. You can't. You can't be fully present for somebody when your head is in another place. You can't be fully present for yourself when your mind is thinking about the goals and responsibilities that you have. What are you left with? How thin are you spread when you're trying to go in every direction to please other people, to be there for other people, and to try and support those that you care about? That is the question that you're left with. That is the question that you ask yourself day in and day out of, how am I going to balance this while still being yourself? Who are you going to be when you are faced with the decision of your goals and the people that you love and you support and that support you? And that's hard. Because when you realize this, who are you without those people? But then who are you without those responsibilities? And who are you without both? You often forget who you are when you fill the plate till it's max capacity, because we end up suppressing to then be able to start and begin so many other things, to be able to be multifaceted. But who would you be if you just focused on that one thing? Who would you be if you could just say no to things? And it's so hard to see every single shiny opportunity that, or thing that you want to do. What do you say yes to and what do you say no to? And I think it's so hard when you know what you have to do and you are so willing to do it, but then you have other things come up. Personal, professional, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, anything in between, unpredicted things. What do you do? And when you feel like you are doing absolutely amazing, seeing how much you've grown, trying to be the best person that you can be, and you feel like that's who you're becoming, is someone completely better, not better, but just somebody who's been able to be more developed and mature than you were a year ago, but then feel like you're not doing enough in so many different aspects. It's hard because you're not showing up for friends, you're not showing up for people, you're not enough because you can't be enough for other people when you feel like you're being spread so thin already. And I think that's the hardest aspect, because one perspective, you feel like you're growing, you're blossoming, but then another part of you is like you're dying a little bit because you want to be there for that person, you want to spend time with them, but you try to make that effort, and that's still not enough time to be able to give somebody the time that they deserve in the day. And that's hard, because then resentment builds, miscommunication occurs, and you try to be there and try to communicate and put effort in. But then what do you do? What do you do when that's not enough for the other person? What do you do if they don't see the same thing? And that answer is you still have to communicate. If they're still willing to listen, when they are still willing to put in that effort to be able to understand and try to empathize, try to understand where you are at and try to understand your plate, look at your plate, give them the time to do that. Because maybe you guys talked about what you needed to do to improve, to build that communication, to build that relationship stronger. And maybe you just need to give enough time to be able to work. We are so often on a yes or no mentality of, is this working? Yes. Is this not working? No. Then let's do something else. Let's be something else. But maybe when it's hard, both in relationships and in professional life. You just have to stick it through. See what happens on the other side. I think the idea of the concept of what this whole entire cycle is about the work-life balance of being there for somebody, also pursuing your profession and your career and your passion, while also having to get personal responsibilities done. It reminds me of like stereotypical parent who works every single day, day in and day out for their family, and they make the money, they make the house, they have the job, but they don't have the family connection. And they see that as sacrificing, but they've sacrificed years to be able to build that house, to have that mortgage, to have those things. And at the end of the day, they look back and realize, oh, that wasn't worth it actually. I sacrificed so many relationships, so many beautiful moments I had that they miss with their family working. And it's hard to balance that, especially when you're young, because you see so many shiny opportunities, but you know that you have to take a chill pill on some of those things, because some of those aspects in your life are lacking, because you have those responsibilities on top of the things that you're working on passion-wise, that you don't feel like you have enough time to spread yourself everywhere, because you're left with nothing. So I want to leave you with this. What areas in your life are doing great? And what areas in your life are needing to have some improvement? Ask yourself, can you begin to start to do things differently? To treat people differently? Be kind when you don't want to be kind? To be open when you want to be closed? And whatever that answer is, whatever your thoughts, ideas, reflections are, take note of that. Because something, a voice inside of you, is telling you something that you don't already know. So trust in your intuition and trust that you will figure this thing called life out, and you will find a better order, a better flow. I will not say a better balance, because life is not balance, but you will find a better proportion of where you can allocate your time that really and truly represents you. Food for thought.